Good morning, Cubs Nation, and welcome back to another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. The Cubs get back on the winning track last night against the Marlins. We'll break down the game. Dansby Swanson has been unconscious. There is big-time Cubs news regarding injuries and calling up young prospects. And then we'll preview the next game that's going to happen tonight. But before we get into all that, I want to say thank you to everyone who has checked out the channel, liked the video, subscribed to the channel, and commented. You guys are the absolute best. Keep on doing you. And again, appreciate every single one of you guys. So the Cubs get back on the winning track yesterday. A beautiful five-run fifth inning gives the Cubs a 5-2 win. A two-run bomb from Swanson. We'll get to him in a moment. And it's another two-run homer from Seiya Suzuki. Colin Ray pitched an absolute gem going into the seventh inning and giving that relief, relief to our bullpen. They had to do very minimal work yesterday, which is absolutely great to see. The thing I like about yesterday's victory is that it was just a very solid win, right? The Cubs offense didn't quote-unquote overperform and drop over 10 runs. No, they just got their 5 runs. They pitched well enough, and then they got out of there with the win. Beautiful win for the Cubs. Today, they go for the series win. And again, I have a little bit higher standard for this team. I think they should sweep this Marlins ball club. The Marlins are absolutely struggling. They're kind of in the transition phase to a rebuild. They're not even rebuilding yet necessarily. So this is where the Cubs need to just take advantage, sweep them out of Wrigley, and get ourselves to at least 8 games above 500 and start to put a little stranglehold on that NL Central, because the Cardinals have been absolutely hot, winners of 9 straight, and yesterday they won again, and they are only a game back of this Chicago Cubs team. Again, it's early May. I don't want to be caught standings watching, but again, it's always nice to be in first place, right? No doubt about that. Again, a key cog into the win yesterday was the Dansby Swanson home run. He gave us a 2-0 lead in that 5th inning. Dansby Swanson has been unconscious, ladies and gentlemen. Over the last 10 games, he is hitting .382. He has another multi-hit game yesterday. He has OPS over 1,100. Absolutely stellar performance by Dansby Swanson over these past few weeks, especially since he got demoted to 8th in the lineup. He seems to be finding a comfortable spot there. I don't know why it's working. I'm just happy that it's working. Obviously, Dansby Swanson brings a lot of consistency defensively to the ball club, and the hitting is very quote-unquote hit or miss in his situation. Obviously, he started off the year pretty solid, I would say. Then he struggled immensely, and now he seems to be figuring it out at the plate. As Craig Counsell said yesterday, he's swinging at the right pitches. He's making the correct decision, which is part of the equation in this game. You got to swing at good pitches, and then you got to make contact and hit it where they're not, and it's working out for Dansby right now. Excited to see him continue this trend. Hopefully, with the more recent news coming up, we're going to get to that here in a moment, he is going to continue to excel at hitting in the 8th position. And again, I think if you got a guy like Dansby Swanson's hitting 8th, kind of no matter what he hits, obviously you don't want him to hit like 190, but he's a 244 career hitter, which is about league average these days. You know, the league batting average has gone down tremendously over the past decade or so, and Dansby Swanson's kind of right at that line. So if Dansby Swanson has a good year, then the Cubs are getting a plus spot in that offense. And generally speaking, Dansby doesn't have too bad of years. He's kind of, that's the thing about averages, right? If you're talking about a 300 hitter and a 200 hitter, then they're a career 250 hitter, right? But would you rather have a 300 hitter and a 200 hitter in one year or the other, or would you rather have a 260 and a 240? You know, Dansby Swanson kind of flirts closer to his career average than he strays too far from it in that scenario, if that makes sense. So, Dansby Swanson, like I said, unconscious. Hopefully, he can continue that trend today. Here is the biggest news in Cubs Nation coming up here right now. Ian Happ is officially going to be day-to-day with oblique discomfort. As I'm recording this video, they are going to move him to the IL, and they are going to call up Moises Ballesteros, the top hitting prospect in the Cubs system, okay? The Cubs are concerned about him defensively. They're not sure if he's a catcher or first baseman. He's only 5'7". The thing they're very confident in is his bat. So, with Ian Happ out, Seiya's going to have to play some left field. And Moises is going to step in and be this team's DH. Hopefully, he gets to make his Major League Big debut tonight, and hopefully he can make an instant impact for this Cubs offense because I'm very excited to see him. I'm hoping he hits well enough that he can kind of stay up. I don't think he's on the 40-man roster, so the Cubs might need to make a move. A lot of people have been talking about DFAing Justin Turner. You've invested a little money into Justin Turner. I would try and give him the best chance opportunity to bounce back. I know, he looks all of 40, as they like to say, but he's still a really, really solid hitter for his career. He hits about 280. Again, I don't expect him to hit 280, especially with not getting consistent at-bats, but I do expect Justin Turner to somewhat return to his average. You know, he'll return to the mean, essentially. If you're super hot, sometimes you return to the mean, but sometimes when you're super cold, you also return to the mean. So he's going to hit better, just like Swanson did, but I'm very excited to watch this young Cubs prospect, Mr. Ballesteros, come up and help this team's offense, which has been struggling recently. Again, the first month of the season, this offense was absolutely unconscious, and I don't think that's the true measure of production for this team because I think the potential's there to score that many runs. You're just not going to score that many runs every game. You're going to have to win some ball games 3-2, 4-2, 4-1, etc., etc. But that's where hopefully Mr. Ballesteros can help this team excel forward and keep the offense going as the Cubs try and sort out this pitching situation. So let's get to the game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Cubs are back at it at 6:40. It's going to be Beloso versus Ben Brown. Ben Brown, who was solid last week, okay? He did give up a few runs, but he struck out 9. No walks. A very, very solid performance. Unfortunately, the Cubs offense just did not help him out in that situation. But I do imagine that today, Ben Brown will get a nice chance. Again, this stretch for the Cubs got their toughest stretch over, okay? They only faced one team that was below 500, and that was the Pirates. Now they're going to get a nice stretch here where they get the Marlins. They're going to get the White Sox. They're going to get the Rockies. They're going to get the Reds, who have been scuffling a little bit. So this is a stretch where the Cubs can really start to fine-tune their game, get their swings right, and win some baseball games. And I expect that to continue tonight here at Wrigley Field. Ben Brown versus Beloso. Again, Ben Brown has been absolutely, I'm not going to say absolutely filthy. He's had his rocky moments, but I'm starting to say, I think he's turning a corner. He's starting to figure it out. Again, he's a strikeout pitcher. He's starting to get the swing and misses that he needs. Now he just needs a little offensive support. Again, if you give up 3 runs as a starter and you go 5 or 6 innings, I'm very happy and content with you. 3 runs, you need to score at least 3 runs to win a ball game, preferably 4 or 5. So I know this Cubs offense is very good and can score 5 runs with great ease, but you can't rely on the offense too much. You can't rely on the pitching too much. It's got to be a delicate balance. So Cubs should continue their winning ways tonight. Again, the Marlins are not that good of a ball club, and it is baseball. So I can't be surprised if the Marlins do snag one here, but I do have complete faith that Ben Brown is going to get the job done tonight. So that's going to do it for Cubs Daily today. I'll be back with another one tomorrow, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll talk soon. Peace.